We are live, coming with a brand new Sir the Pod podcast show. I'm your host, Trevor, and tonight we are joined by Alex. Alex, how are you doing tonight?
Yo, yo, yo.
And we're also joined by Andy. Andy, how are you doing tonight?
What up? What up?
And we are here.
Watch out.
That's a new threats. That's a new threats finale. Joe, I mean, this is going to be an off the rails pod. I can already tell. I mean, Andy's running through the streets like it's a goddamn blizzard happening. I think he might be climbing up the mountain right now.
I am. I'm climbing up the mountain. I'm at elevation 12,000 feet. Out of breath, but we're gonna keep chugging along.
God. All right, boys. Finale. Opening thoughts. Alex, what do you got? Yes, Fenway. That was great. And Alex, what are your thoughts too?
Overall, I actually enjoyed a lot of tonight's episode. I think as a whole, the final is pretty stupid, and a lot of the checkpoints in day one were pretty weak. But there was like a 30-minute stretch, probably the last 30 minutes of the episode, where I actually felt real suspense about who's gonna win, what's the final standings gonna be. The comeback at the end was wild. And I found myself enjoying this way more than last week, and maybe not as much as a final back in the glory days, but overall, I liked the way it played out, and it was entertaining enough, in my opinion.
Andy, opening thoughts. Don't get hit by a car.
I didn't hate it, but I don't necessarily think I loved it. It was pretty suspenseful, but I also think that production could have done a much better job building the suspense. I think the suspense was really just what happened, but I think it could have been elevated much, much more.
Andy, I'm kind of confused. How's that even possible? The NBA rigging games 135, 120. How can production rig that?
Well, did you see Game 5 of the finals?
Oh, come on.
Easily riggable, or maybe Game 4. Either way, it was just I don't know. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but once the pass happened, it was just oh, they're gonna catch us. Oh, they caught us. Oh, they're in first. That's how it felt to me. I don't know. It was suspenseful based on what happened, but production could have played it up better, in my opinion.
Production fucking up? That doesn't seem right.
All in all, it was a little bit better than last episode, but really just because we came out with a winner and second place. It was finally done, but I wasn't a huge fan. Fawn.
This is just out of
Trev, what do you think?
Honestly, there's just so many little things in this episode that I absolutely hated. The whole format of the finale, I just don't like. I don't think day one meant absolutely nothing. The only advantage teams got was the sleep, which was an hour, which is I don't like. You're not rewarding the teams 1 through 3 that finished before 4 on day one. I don't understand how we just have every single team sprint at the same time on day 2. And that's you could have just walked the day 1 of the final and take your sweet ass time and it wouldn't have changed anything. And that's what I don't like about it. Let alone, I'm not discrediting Yermi and Olivia. They did pass Turbo and Sydney, but I also think Turbo and Sydney probably should have had a bigger gap to start with going into the hike. But that's just me.
I agree. And you could hear Sydney's opening thoughts in her first confessional tonight. She said, what the hell did I just do that for?
Correct.
What did I just put myself through that for? Which is it's a valid point. And we talked about that last week, that when we had the 2-man pod, it was pretty much just a 2-man game, a la Jokic and Murray tonight. But we talked about that. That's the downside, is you put yourself through this hell not knowing what's going to come, because you're leaving it up to chance of okay, what's CJ going to say? Is it going to be a 5-minute head start? Is it going to be a 30-minute head start? We come to find out it's an hour extra of sleep. That's so pointless It's so dumb. Again, tonight's was better, but my God, they need to stop with the 2-day challenges.
No, I would rather see a 1 day, like a 24-hour, no sleep, like you just go. And it's start to finish. And it might not even be 24 hours. If it takes you 16 hours, it takes you 16 hours. Whatever. Like, we don't have to get cute and bring in helicopters that drop people off and do all that. Like, let's just cut the shit and get from point A to point B. That's how I look at it. I think those are the best finals. But what do I know? So
Can I ask a question just going in line with this? If tonight's final was the entire final, take away the sleeping, you've got a big mountain, you've got, I don't know how many, like 4 checkpoints. Would anyone have been upset if what we saw tonight, minus the sleeping, was the final? Because I think it would have made for a really good final.
I think it would have been better. I think I would have made it a little longer. I don't know how long it actually took them to go up.
26 hours.
But
They
that
had a
was
countdown on that.
yeah, but that wasn't that was the whole final.
Oh,
That wasn't just
yeah, you got to be right. Yeah.
I think to answer your question, yes, I think it would have been a lot better. Aside from, I think still the one other glaring thing in tonight's episode was the waiting for your opponents to play a fucking game of Connect Four. That was an insane thing that happened.
We'll get into that.
That
I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of smirky. It was so bad. It was good.
It was awful.
It was so bad. It was good. It's almost like watching a bad movie, but you know it's good at the same time for how bad it is. Like it's smirk.
Norbit,
Velocipaster.
Yes, don't you dare talk shit about Velocipaster. But also, what was up with the movie reviews last week? You guys pulling on my letterbox and going through them?
why not?
God, I gotta do an LB. I watched the movie last night.
Cat in the Hat?
No, Cat in the Hat was a smirky one.
Cat in the Hat too.
Straight on ass. I tried to pull an Alex, and I was like, I gotta keep the movie tally going. So I'm like, what is the shortest movie I can find? And I found one at 120 minutes. I'm like, beautiful, in and out. Like literally, I can eat dinner essentially and finish this movie. And I'm watching it. It is off the fucking rails. It is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Like the costume of Mike Myers is fucking banana lands. It looks like a fucking pedophile dressed up in a cat suit. It's unbelievable.
Trev, we know. We read your review. We read it to all the listeners.
I know. I heard.
As I've always said, it's kind of more like a horror movie.
It is. It's kind of scary.
Wait, did you say 120 minutes? That's a 2-hour movie.
Did I say 120 minutes? That's
yes.
80 minutes. I mean, that's just Xavier math for me. God, 80 minutes. Excuse me. I meant 120 as in the time. So sorry about that. 1 hour, 20 minutes. Mikey the Doctor writes, need a SpongeBob movie review episode from Trev. I actually didn't see that. Is that new coming out? Like, down goes Andy. Oh, there's Andy again. Is that in theaters? I thought I saw a trailer. I actually just watched Zootopia 2 Sunday night. I saw. What did I watch last night? I don't know. I got to go back and check. Go to VAR and check and see what I did. All right. We should talk about the episode, right? Unless they wanted to talk about movies. I'm all in for that. Good old-fashioned movie pod. But let's start from the beginning, the overnight portion. I don't think we've ever seen this from an overnight portion where they kind of actually even before this, let's talk about the option to switch partners. What did we think? The whole switching the partners, like it, hate it, like just the option. I'm surprised nobody pulled the trigger.
It was the one of the dumbest parts of the episode. We talked about it last week. I think the number I put on it was at least a 75% chance of nobody doing anything. And that's what happened. Yeah. And like nobody raised their hand. TJ looked around, was like, are you guys sure? Said, okay, now we're going to get into the overnight portion. And it was as simple as that, as predictable as that, and as stupid as that. Like this part was so dumb. To answer your question, yes, I was surprised that Cedric didn't do it. I think his reasoning kind of made sense. He was like, we're putting ourselves through hell. Why would I want to do one more thing? I get it. But I don't know. It just didn't seem like they were all too exhausted to even like think about doing it. And then that was that. Like I wish they would have just edited this out of the episode, made us think this never happened.
Well, what's really funny about this too is obviously wasn't on last week. The episode before when we were talking about it, I said, if you're in last place, you should 100% do this to the team that's in first place. Like it's a no-brainer. But you know what? It didn't matter. If you still switch partners, you're still starting at the same point, and it's just a run up the mountain.
Yeah.
Also, correct me if I'm wrong, the stump portion happened before, or excuse me, the switching of the partners came before the stump portion. So first place was Sydney and Turbo. If I would have switched partners, let's say I was partners with Sydney, but I was in fourth place, what was your time to stand on the stump?
I don't know. And then we kind of debated that last week. Like, how are they going to determine that in terms of the standings and who lands with who? Like, and I don't even know. Who knows? We'll never know the answer if the producers even know the answer to that question, because nobody raised their hand and actually like executed the twist. And it was a dumb thing.
I'm curious. Let me go this route with both of y'all. Do we think production thought there was going to be a switch? Because that's why day 2 they all started at the same time. Because no matter how you switch up partners, you would go at the same time. So you can't fuck that up. Like if you know what I'm saying. If one person had an hour head start, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I just think it means absolutely nothing. But
no, it doesn't.
Just a bad attempt. Too
so
many partners.
Stupid.
Well, going into the season, what was the over under on partner switches?
Oh, it was 1.5.
It was broken on the first episode.
It had the same exact effect as the Rivals 2 scariest elimination of all time.
Oh, come on.
Like it literally was. It was like they hyped this up and then literally nothing comes from it.
That one was kind of scary though. God, they were showing like the camera was right on the electrical chair or whatever it was.
Stupid.
God.
All right, what's next?
So nobody switches. Then we have the overnight portion. And this is a portion we've never seen before. People on a stump staying up late all night. What do we think? Do we like this? Do we not like this? Advantage for just 1 hour each? Like,
not really. Because I'm sure like the sleeping conditions were terrible no matter what. And like at the end of the day, if half of your team is standing up, you can still like get sleep when you're not standing up. But overall, I didn't mind this part of it. I didn't mind this part of the final, accepting the fact that like the head starts and everything were so stupid. But I didn't mind this just because this again felt familiar. We've seen this in a final where one partner's up on the log, the other one sleeps. They have to rotate if they get tired, all of that. I just think, aside from the head starts and everything, I think it took too long. Like, we don't need to see all these like funny clips of Adrian talking nonstop. Like, just get through it. Unless something is going to actually happen, you have something meaningful to show us, then show us. But we kind of get the point of this checkpoint within like 2 minutes, and let's just keep going. I don't think we needed to spend that much time on it. That was kind of my main nit to pick with it.
Does that chalk it up as another person on the pod this season, or does words have to be spoken?
I think it was just faces.
God, smirk. Andy, what do you think, if you have time right now? What do you think about the whole overnight portion?
I think it's so fucking dumb, and they need to stop it immediately. It's pointless. These people have been going through, in their own opinions, hell for 2 months. The whole purpose of this is really just to make them sleep deprived before climbing a mountain that's 13,000 feet. What's the point? Like, that's what they try to overcomplicate with this hardest final ever. The only, the quote unquote hardest part about it is that you're sleep deprived. Who cares? Like that's such a dumb, like sticky thing that I can't stand.
Would you rather, just curious, would you rather have them just go to bed, sleep 12 hours, and then you have the best, like the
Yes,
quotations, the best?
version of everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. And I'm fine with that too. But I don't know. It is what it is. So,
All right, see you on the other side.
where are you going? Are you flipping? Whoa, down goes
Wow.
Javi. Wow. He's probably switching his laptop finally. But after this portion, we had what part did we have? The race up the mountain. And before we got the race up the mountain, rope gate. Now, the whole rope gate scenario, you're telling me we couldn't like check the footage of to see who cheated or not. Like clearly Theo was the one who grabbed the rope, right? Like we all know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the biggest mystery was Cedric puts his rope down, Theo takes it, and then Cedric can't find his because Theo has it. Where the hell did Theo's rope go? Like the little bonfire campsite did not look that big. How? I mean, Anissa's not there, so nobody ate it. Like, where could this rope have disappeared to? That is what I just couldn't believe. Like, yes, you wouldn't find your own rope, but who cares at that point? Like, I just couldn't believe that anybody walking around couldn't find the rope.
Did he have it walking in? Like I could have seen somebody drop it like before they get to that campsite. Do we know that Theo had it?
That's a good question. But also, the whole fucking rope thing was stupid. They said they were going to be tethered together, and all that really meant was we're going to give you 2 yards of rope, and you have to hold on to it the whole time. That's not being tethered together.
Honestly, they should have handcuffed each other. That'd been awesome. That would suck.
The whole rope thing was so dumb. I hated it.
I love some of these comments are good. Did Theo burn it when he was standing there by himself? Could you imagine? He was just trying to get a little warm and he's like holding the rope and just letting it catch.
Not a bad idea.
Honestly.
But guess what? Even if you lost your rope, nightmare scenario, 5-minute penalty.
Yeah. I mean, so stupid.
Like, what are we doing here?
So that's a good transition. Rope gets lost. 5-minute penalty. Everybody else just, sprints up at the same time, which that pissed me off the most. Day one at this moment meant absolutely nothing. And I know you do, I understand you don't realize that in the moment, but everything that Sydney and Turbo did meant absolutely nothing to that point. And when they were clearly winning that final, right?
Yes.
So part one, they won. And they didn't get rewarded for it. And I just didn't like. But
what do you mean? They, instead of having 7 hours of standing on a stump and sleeping in a tent, they only had to do 6.
Oh, what do you do? Like,
so dumb.
I would, instead of the stumps, what if we had the beads invasion?
God, you bulge at the beads.
Hand in the cookie jar. Oh, that never gets old. Adam's gonna be pissed when he hears that.
God, has he even watched this season?
Who? I've heard a rumor that Mason has watched more episodes.
He probably has.
He's like, cool, caca, DVR. Never mind. I'll leave it at that. All right. So run up the mountain. We get to our first checkpoint, which is the partner trivia. What do we think about this? Like it, hate it?
I ain't mad at it.
Okay.
I always like the partner trivia or like the trivia about the other contestants. I always think that's kind of fun. And like to the point that we kept circling last week when you were gone, Trev, with a bum ankle. it made it about the team. And like it's trivia, it's a little fluky, but anything that's about the team that makes sense for a duo competition, I'm in for. And like some people had an advantage, some people had disadvantage, a la Olivia. But at the end of the day, like it's how well do you know your teammate? So I can get behind that.
I wish
I didn't hate it.
I wish it was more smirky, some of like the questions and stuff. Like I saw earlier on whatever Tubi or not Tubi, Pluto playback. Rivals 2 was on and they were doing like what is Andy's best body part? And the other person was like guessing what body part it was. And like, I mean, like that's smirky because it's also like a guess, but like there's some like what was it? It was like Paula's best body part, and Emily's like, oh, her boobs. And it was like, obviously they both got it. Like stuff like that, rather than like, what was it, zodiac sign or birthstone or whatever the fuck? Like, who gives a fuck about that?
Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking watching it was as a checkpoint. I liked this. Like this was a more of a success than a failure, but I almost feel like it was misused. Like I would have liked partner trivia as a daily or as like a part of a daily 3, 4, 5 episodes ago. I think that would have been much better. You get to see instead of like multiple choice where the consequence of getting it wrong is like running down a thing where they've been running all episode for 26 hours. Like instead of that, we get a daily where like Olivia actually has to like guess her answer of what Yermi's middle name is. Like, and she has clearly no idea. Like, and you get smirky answers that way. I think that would have been a much better use of like how well do you know your partner than tonight in the final. But I think overall it was still decent.
Can I give a pretty big nitpick? When you mentioned middle name, it stuck out to me. Did anyone see how Yermi screwed up Olivia's middle name?
No.
He guessed the wrong spelling of Anne. They had the audacity of the like 5 or 6 choices to have Anne spelled ANN and then also Anne spelled ANNE. In what world, even if you're trying to get to know your partner and you say, hey, what's your middle name? Oh, it's Anne. In what world is someone saying, how do you spell that?
They're like, Andy, what's your full name? And then they would write Andy Burge and be like, incorrect, it's Andrew. It'd be like, what the fuck?
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, oh, my middle name's Jackson. It's actually spelled with an X.
Oh, come on.
Like, what are we doing here?
Jackson Dart? Come on.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, your middle name's Jackson? Andrew
Yes.
Jackson? I mean, come on.
Spelled with an X, in case you
No,
ever get
it's
asked.
not. It's not Jackson Dart X. Only one person rocks the X. All right. While Alex is taking care of George, wait, do you smell that? Do you smell that, Andy?
I do smell that. What does it smell like?
I think it smells like a poopy diaper. Uh-oh. I think George's diaper's got to be changed. All right, Andy, I got to give you this next part. Connect 4. What do we think? Oh, God.
I am so done with these checkpoints in the final where you have to wait for the team behind you. That's worse than the 2-part final. That's worse than the overnight challenges. That is the dumbest thing in the world. That's like running someone head to head in a 40-yard dash. And then when you get to the, maybe not the 40, but like a mile, let's say you have to do 4 laps around a track. But when you get 2 laps in, you have to stop and wait for them to catch up and then continue. Like that's how just insane this whole concept is. You could have done so much more. I hated it so much. Thankfully, and I'll kind of just not necessarily get into spoilers, but I had my LVP pick. I can't do it. I had an LVP pick that I then took off after the result of everything. based on this. I thought it was so dumb. The Connect Four, I actually didn't hate, but you can't do it when you're in a race with 4 people and whoever's in first has to stop and wait. Dumbest thing in the world.
I agree. I would rather have them have like the last 4 eliminated teams. Like, could you imagine if 4 eliminated teams were up there and you like as soon as you got up, you got to choose what team you were to go against, and as soon as you beat them, you go, and then it's so you're never waiting on a team, and if you lose, you get. Here's something, Andy. If you were if we, let's just say we were running up the mountain at the exact same time, our teams would go against each other. We're not waiting. If my team lost to your team, 5-minute penalty, and then you can go, you think, and that's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even if you want to do this where you have to face whoever comes next, like if you want to do that, make it the first checkpoint. Where the only gap that you have to make up is literally just from running from the starting line to the checkpoint.
Could you imagine if they did a tournament of Connect Four to start times? Like first place, Sydney and Turbo would have chosen whatever team they wanted, and then the other 2 match, and it's a straight tournament. That'd be awesome.
You do a round robin. You play everyone and then
double limb. TJ gets in for a game. Final boss.
This checkpoint was terrible. What was it last week that they were waiting on each other for?
The Stairmaster.
Yeah.
Which Stairmaster. Okay. Yeah. So
we brought that up earlier with the fucking helicopter. What the fuck was the point of the helicopter? Dropping them off.
Oh, on last week's?
It was bled into. Yeah, it was last week. They had the helicopter and then they brought in the new team for the Stairmaster. Like, why are we just not running to the fucking checkpoints?
Yeah, the fact that it was another weight on the team, like you guys said, it was dumb. And, to look ahead, like one of the things that went through my head was like, imagine how much Olivia and Yermi would have dominated the end of the final if they would have won their first game of Connect Four. Mm-hmm. They went 0-3 and somehow made the comeback, which we'll talk about. But like, if maybe that's part of why the producers do it. I don't know. But like, if they win the first game, there's no suspense. There's no drama at all at the end because they're crushing everybody. But it's not fun to watch. Like, it's boring to watch, just waiting for the next team. Like, this was just a predictable fail. I
agree. All right, moving on from Connect Four, we kind of had the last of the hike up the mountain. So let's talk about 4th place because they kind of just quit and gave up. Theo and Adrian. I will say this episode with those 2, they both just gave up. Like, I think it was more, and I know Adrian was kind of like, oh, I'm feeling dizzy and all this stuff. Theo straight up quit. And that pissed me off a lot. Like, he literally was the one who asked producers, like, all right, I think we're just done. We're done. Like that's so soft. Like, you're that far. You went through how many eliminations to get to that moment and you just quit? Like, come on.
I think Theo was so happy that his partner was dying so that he didn't have to be the one that's like, we need a medic, we need to quit. He's like, Adrian, are you sure you want to quit? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
And like, they had like a few times where he was like, you don't say you can't, like, keep going. But you knew, like, you could just see the look in his eyes that like he also wanted to quit just as much as Adrian. And he was just glad that she was the one who actually kind of pulled the trigger.
Well, he was being a little bitch last week too. The whole swimming part, like, oh, I can't swim. Like, my legs are killing me. Like, this is the final. Like, and I'm sorry, and I don't want to get too spoilery anyway with MVP, LVP. That's fucking sucked. They were terrible this entire finale. They sucked. The
Interesting.
You disagree?
Olivia had a pretty damn good finale.
I think Yermi carried her up the mountain.
I don't disagree with that.
And I'm saying more tonight's episode. Maybe more tonight's episode.
I still hold true to that. if Olivia did not carry her weight, I know Jeremy was the one leading the charge, but Olivia certainly carried her weight.
No, I'm not saying that, but that's one team out of 4.
I know, but that's the like I don't disagree that the vets in general were miserable. Olivia was very impressive.
No, but I think you're like if you were to compare the 2 resumes between Yermi and Olivia, I think Yermi had a better final than Olivia. Now, Olivia kept up. I'm not discrediting that. But Yermi had a better final than Olivia, for sure.
Yes, but this was a weak link competition. You're not as good as your strongest link. You're as good as your weakest one.
That's fair.
And she was better. She was able to make up that big gap that we talked about. Now, again, Jeremy was the one literally walking her like a dog, a la Fenway, Bentley, etc. But you cannot discredit the fact that she kept up with him and she made that comeback too.
Let me go this route with you. If Olivia was partners with Turbo up just the mountain, what place do they finish in?
At best,
Not
second
first.
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would almost argue third.
You
I
could
think
make an argument for that.
Sydney carried Turbo up the mountain tonight.
Well, yes.
And I think Yermi being that motivator, helping her get through it, that was huge.
Does anyone remember when Olivia kept bitching and moaning about, I don't know how me and Jeremy are going to work together as partners when Will staked the claim?
God.
Like,
Well, let's go team by team. Let's finish anything else we have on Theo and Adrian. We said they kind of both gassed out. We'll get to the other 3 teams in a sec, but any other kind of final thoughts on how they finished? They left the Connect 4 checkpoint in second place, which for them was kind of surprising.
Mhm.
And then they just slowly gas out, and ultimately they ended 4th place, which feels right. That they were probably like last going into the final of the 4 teams, and ultimately they had like a good season. They win the 4 eliminations, but they were never like that good. Like they just found ways to kind of stay in the game, and so I think it makes sense that they were going to get 4th place.
To Andy's point earlier, I would have loved to see this team with a full sleep schedule and just a run and gun like finale. Because this team was the one that was out on the log the longest. And you can say they're tired. I don't know if it would have changed the results. I'm not saying that, but it would have been more interesting. I would have I want this team to be at full 100% for them. And we just didn't see that, obviously. So
I do think I couldn't agree more. I do think even if it was a one-day final, this team's finishing 4th, only because this team is made for eliminations, not for finals. Like both these two, especially together, could beat anyone head to head in any sort of contest or competition. But when it comes to a full day, long endurance, that's both of their biggest weaknesses. I think both of them showed that they're both very good competitors throughout this season. And watching them together was fun. Like it was a fun time. But it was like, do we really think this team's going to beat anyone else up a mountain? No chance. And I do need to, as you were talking about Theo wanting to quit just as much as Adrian. Did anyone else think about that little bitch boy Fezzi and Casey as a little player comp for him?
yes,
Because that was the whole thing on my mind.
I didn't think about that. That is a great comparison. Yeah, I mean Theo and Adrian they were the 4th best team. Like it's kind of as simple as that. And maybe they are able to get 3rd or 2nd if one of 2 things. Either Theo, the vet on this team, is in like better shape and is closer to War of the Worlds Theo than now, or Adrian is like a little bit better. But like they were both good and they were both scrappy and like they got 4th place. They also I don't know, we probably had 8-9 dailies with after the lock-in. I don't think they won a single one. Like they weren't like awesome or like good enough to win dailies, but they were good enough to like just hang in and yeah, just kind of. And I hope my opinion is I hope to see both of them back.
I don't want to dig too deep into this team and kind of like, I feel like this is going to be kind of the season recap with these guys. But has anybody done a bigger 180? And Alex, you might not know the whole 180 analogy that me and Andy talked about. Than Theo being somebody I really like to someone I really hate. I lost a lot of respect this season for Theo. I don't know.
You hate him?
I don't know. Hate is not maybe not the right word. Like I really liked Theo before the season. He kind of pissed me off this season. Like he was just kind of a baby back bitch.
So I kind of did a 360 with Theo this season. I did not like Theo coming in.
Oh.
But I found him to be kind of smarky. Like, I just think he hated Adrian, but he was like, you know what? I'm going to be partnered up with her this season. Let's see how far we can take this run. And like, they made it to the final. Like, I enjoyed Theo this season.
And let's be clear, we're going to get to the first place team in a sec, but and Olivia said it in one of her confessionals, like Theo's main role this season was Olivia's shield.
Yeah.
Like they went 4-0 in elimination. If they lose one of those, if they go 2-1, let's say they lose their third elimination, guess who's going into that elimination after? Olivia and Will or Jeremy, whoever was her partner was at the time. Like, and then she might go home, and then she's not a challenge champion. And like, good for him because they're dating still, and they have a kid now. I think just born a few days ago. So like he kind of did get a win in some respects. Like he played a big part in Olivia's win.
Mm-hmm.
It was very like Ron and Hermione in Sorcerer's Stone, where they're just taking all the bullets as they're going and playing chess and they're doing whatever, and ended up taking Hermione out. I don't even remember. But then it's not me. It's not Adrian. It's you. It's you, Olivia. You have to win this. And they probably like Harry Potter because he's got the British accent and everything. But it was like, looking back on it, I loved it. I loved Theo this season.
Can I ask you?
Let me walk that back. I liked Theo this season.
Let me go this route with you, Andy. In that scene in Harry Potter, why didn't they just walk around the chessboard?
And they also act like Ron died.
Honestly, that clip of when the horse gets stabbed and he just goes flying is incredible. It looks like a flop in soccer where you just throw your hands up. It's good. But, they're like, Harry, you run off. Like, you guys, all three can just hop off the horse and just, like, go. Like, I guess, but in the end, like, he needed to play the game because, correct me if I'm wrong, like, Dumbledore gave him points.
Yes.
At the end. Those bullshit bonus points at the end.
Like the Mario Party battle mini games where they throw the coins to fourth place.
God. And then they're like, wait a minute. And then Neville gets the last bonus star. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Gryffindor wins the House Cup. God, I just love. They're in fourth fucking place, and he's just like, not so fast.
Snape's just sitting in the back like this.
Could you imagine if that happened in real life with a sport? Like, come on. It would be like the biggest VAR mess of all time. All right, back on track. Also, why didn't we get more of that in Harry Potter's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the movies? I felt like we needed that.
They just stopped the House Cup.
Yeah, it was just like
once the what was the cup in the one with Victor Crumb?
4, Goblet of Fire. Yeah.
Yeah, once the goblet got brought in, the cup was out.
God.
I mean, how many drinking like utensils do you need?
Can I ask you this? Why do we not just have a Triwizard tournament just be the finale? Like 4 different things that are massive, like a swimming portion, a maze portion, fighting a dragon portion. I'm spitting everywhere. Like, why not? Who says no?
Dumbledore.
Oh, come on. All right.
All right. Are we moving on?
I know
next
Alex
team.
is getting pissed. I know George is calling for him. So third place, Medrick. Third place,
Medrick.
Medrick, Meadows, tomato. It's all the same.
Tomato. Higher level guys will understand.
Yeah. What was that all about? Turbo thought tomato started with a D?
Oh, he's smirky.
God. All right. So third place, Medrick. Thoughts on this team?
They, I think at one point in the final were second.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think ever got higher than that. They obviously had the 5-minute penalty from the rope. And then after Connect 4, they were, I think, third. They were behind Theo and Adrian and Sydney and Turbo, and then got past. And then I think past Theo and Adrian before that, so they end up in third. This was, again, like just kind of the right spot for them. Like they were a good team. They fought to the end. I was happy to see them actually like make it all the way up to the little treasure chest and like actually cross the finish line and become champs. And I hope to see Cedric back. Probably Michaela too. I think they definitely both deserve a call back, and I would love to see kind of their political games on Showcase again. And they both show that like they can maybe not win a final, but come really damn close to it. They're fun to watch.
Honestly, my guess, if you would have told me one team would have quit this final, I would have said this team going into it. But I mean, McCord, come on, technical foul. Let me go this route with you guys for a second. Is this the first final in a long time? And I could be completely wrong. It could have happened last season. I completely forgot. That Teach was not at the top of the mountain?
I was just thinking
Whoa.
What?
Spoilers.
Well, I mean, we're talking about them touching the chest and stuff. Nobody was up there. It kind of sucked. Like, you're just tapping his chest, and it's like, the end. Yay. You guys can just head right back down. Like, I mean, that sucks. Or carry back down.
Let me go one ring down on my LVP list.
Oh, come on. That can still be a pick.
We'll get into that. No, you're right. It was it kind of went in line with what I was saying when I was walking back. I think production missed a lot in terms of how they could have built this whole thing up.
Mm-hmm.
And that was part of it. I don't know if I have a whole lot more to add on the Medrick. This is where they belonged. I think, and I don't want to overlap too much with the season recaps and whatnot, but I would have loved to see what Cedric could have done.
in a final, like
Yes.
without an ankle injury next to him.
Correct. Could he have won? I don't know. I my gut still tells me no, but we may never know.
Yeah, I want to see both of them, probably a little bit more Cedric. I want to see them back in another season. I don't even want to say like in an elimination because I think they won 2 at the very end of this season. But I kind of just want to see them with like a bit more of a target on their back. Because Cedric said it in one of his confessionals early in tonight's episode where he was like, nobody really saw us as a threat, even though they probably should have. And we were able to kind of use that to our advantage. And so I think it would be fun to see like a season where maybe it's a group season and there's like 12 teams or something. And from like day one, Cedric kind of has a target on his back because people maybe like from this season, Yermy or whoever is like around and they say like, you know, he was kind of a snake on season 41. We should like watch out for him. And like, instead of kind of like sliding under the radar and then winning a couple eliminations at the end, like he's kind of the main target. I think it would be fun to kind of see how he navigates that as opposed to kind of sliding under the radar. So I want to see him back for another one. Really fun to watch.
No, I think if he can come back and do multiple seasons, I think he's a good person to have on the show for sure.
I agree.
All right, second place, Turbo and Sydney. Thoughts, Andy?
Sydney's a beast. Turbo just kind of disappointed me a little bit. I don't really know how else to put it. Like, I've done a full 360 on Turbo as well. I liked him. I hated him.
Oh, come on.
Now I like him again. But he just kind of let me down. They had such a big lead. They were dominating this whole two-part finale, and he just couldn't get it done. I don't know how real that whole hypothermia thing was. Like, it was, I don't know. Was it just like I'm cold, but what do you think, Trev?
I think it was, I hate to say it because it is about someone's health. It was kind of smirky to see him like all wrapped up like this and like bringing him down the mountain. Like, so unnecessary. Like, he could have gone down. Like, and I know he was sick going, like, they played off the last 5 episodes he wasn't feeling good or whatever. I mean, I think one of the episodes he was like asleep at a bar or something or playing video games or something. Like, I just felt like, kind of to your point, Andy, just such a letdown from Turbo. And I don't know how much the health was an issue. I'll say that. But it sucks because this final, there's no reason this team should not have won. I mean, they dominated. Like, they were in the lead. Literally, we're on probably the 10-yard line. I think they were 400 feet away when they got caught. I think the difference was 6 minutes, 400 feet elevation up. I think it was 432 they showed. But I don't know, man. I just felt like Sydney carried this team and Turbo was just a disappointment, I think. For somebody who's like, you would look at and was like kind of a beast, like, was he a beast? I don't know.
Yeah, I think their finish tonight almost just doesn't make sense. And maybe this is kind of going to what Andy was saying earlier with the production. I think they could have made a bigger deal of the fact that, like, I mean, every time as Olivia and Yermi were passing another team and like getting closer to the back of the pack, they zoom out and you still couldn't see Sydney and Turbo on the mountain. You still couldn't see them. And then I was like doing the time check. I was checking my phone to see how much time left we had in the episode, thinking like how, they haven't shown Sydney and Turbo in 20 minutes and now it's, 9:15. Like, how can they not get first place at this point? And then all of a sudden, Sydney and Yermi look up and they see Sydney's ass in the air and like Turbo crawling and then all of a sudden it's a game and like it just kind of comes out of nowhere and it's just a missed opportunity. And one of the things I was thinking is like what it could have done to Turbo's legacy, just in terms of this would have been 2 rings and I think only 4 seasons for him, which is like a very wild, underrated start to his resume, even though he's, like he said multiple times, 37 years old. But yeah,
based on that resume, would you say he's one of the top 3 challengers ever?
No.
Isn't that Emily's resume?
Is it? He's won? I also think
I'm just, it's blind resume season.
No.
What's going on here?
That's fine. You could throw that out. I think when you look at male competitors versus female competitors, I think there is a difference in the long line of history of, I think.
So you just think female competitors aren't good?
Did not say that. I'm saying I think there is a huge gap between Wes, Banana, CT as like your Mount Rushmore and then anybody else. I think those, and Jordan, obviously, those 4, and then it's everybody else. Like, I don't necessarily agree that you have 4 women that are in the same category as those. I think Cara is the only person in that category.
What is going on?
Andy's going for Emily's throat, so I'm firing back.
I was just a little blind resume season. based
I
off
just don't think
Turbo.
you can compare the two. That's all I'm saying.
This reminds me of in Real Bros when Lexi, I think, out of nowhere brings up the fact that Danny, I think, maybe made out with her cousin at a party like 10 years ago. She's like, I've just been sitting on that one. I mean, that's just I didn't know that was gonna happen. I think Emily is 1 title in 4 seasons. Right? Same as Turbo.
I think that's right. That's
Emily
what I'm saying.
did
Blind resume season.
Cutthroat, X's, 1 on Rivals 2, and then she was on last season, Battle of the Eras.
We're not starting this tonight, boys. We're not starting. It's not even close. It's not even. We're comparing apples to oranges. It's not even close.
Okay, can I
Why
segue
can't
us
fruit
back?
be compared?
Okay.
Yes. I'll segue us back because I segued us off. Was this the biggest collapse in a final ever?
No, Sarah.
She got first place.
The graphic.
In all seriousness, was this the biggest collapse ever?
So when you say collapse, because I was gonna ask a similar question, maybe we're thinking the same thing. In terms of like the power ranking kind of consensus 1-1
Too
team
far.
in a final not winning it.
Yes, but also the 1-1 team who was dominating all of day 1, all of day 2, literally up until 432 feet to go. So it's not just based on how they should do, it's based on like how they are doing. They are dominating every one, and then they just AD Mitchell drop it on the 1 yard line, goes out of bounds, touchback.
The one that comes
McCord brings up a good one when Kenny carried Wes up a mountain. But I don't think they were dominating necessarily during that. Enough. There's some lines you don't cross, Trev. There's some lines you don't cross.
What?
Take it off.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Take it off.
Alex, what are you typing away? I can't see anything happening.
I think the one that comes to my mind is
Dad, put me on. Put me on.
is X's 1. And I think there's less of a discrepancy between the teams. I just remember CT and Diem, who were a good team, were at the bottom of the mountain, like on that last kind of hike, and Bananas and Camilla just passed them. And they made it seem like it was a lot of cigarettes catching up to CT at that point in his life. But that comes to my mind. I think one of the closest final finishes was way back, Duel 2, when Evan, I think, comes back and beats Brad. But Brad was like not dominant or anything like that. But I think this is one of the biggest ones where it's like Turbo and Sydney were one of the best teams, like kind of looked at as the one team, like they were that close to the end zone to finishing and just lose.
Trev, anything stick out to you, or are you just giggly McGee over there?
I'm just giggling McGee over here today. So, God, someone's pissed. All right, should we move on? Last team.
Yes.
First place, Yermi, Olivia, picking up the win tonight. Thoughts on the victory? As you guys said, huge win. Maybe the biggest comeback of all time.
Yeah.
They were in 4th place a lot of the finale. So,
And the most important part, the start of the last leg.
crazy.
So what do you guys think of the two of them becoming challenge champs?
I think Yermi, for yours guys, I think I want him back every season. He's good. I want to see him in more of a drama situation of him actually, like you kind of saw in the reunion preview of him screaming at people. I kind of wanted to see that, but
I have a hot take.
Uh-oh.
I don't think Jeremy deserves to be a challenge champion.
Go on.
If you want to go do Amazing Race, if you want to go run marathons, do it. But don't come into my show that is worth way more than just, can you run a marathon and how strong are you? He was a fucking dud from an entertainment perspective this whole time. Get him off this show. He does not deserve to be a challenge champion. The definition of a challenge champion is look at someone like Johnny Bananas. Look at someone like Kenny, Mr. Beautiful Santucci. Those are challenge champions to their core. They know that they can beat people physically, but they're going to go on TV and they're going to have a good time and they're going to make for views and they're going to make it entertaining. If Jeremy wants to be a physical specimen, fine. Go do it. Go be fucking Mr. America, Mr. wherever the fuck he's from. He might be American. I don't know. I don't care. To have him be dubbed as a challenge champion, I get it. Is he athletic enough to do it? Yes. Did he deserve to do it from an athletic perspective? Absolutely. But does it kind of piss me off that he's considered a challenge champion just because he can run a marathon? Yes, it does piss me off. Olivia, not so much. I'm happy for her. Olivia's been cutting it up for years. Do I like her? No. But does she embody what the challenge is about? Where it's competitive, but it's also drama and stabbing people in the back and forming alliances? Absolutely. What she did to Nerys in her like first or second season is the epitome of what the challenge is about. So I'm happy that she got her challenge champion title. Jeremy, it's just like he doesn't care about any of that shit. He just wants to come on, get to the final, and run the fastest time ever. He was probably like looking at the time like, oh, what was my time? I wonder what my heart rate is right now. Get the fuck out of here. That's not what the challenge is for.
Did Jeremy do something to you?
Yes, he took up a spot. Like, we all knew this going in. I think I gave him a 5, maybe 4 going into this season. Like, I just hate, and it's not like just Jeremy, it's all of the challenge talent, quote unquote, that is coming on. Talent back in the day used to be, are you attractive? Are you going to cut it up with people? Are you going to cause drama? That was what the talent was looked at. Nowadays, it's, can you run a marathon? What other shows were you on? But it's not like, were you on, like, I hate to fucking say this, but we're at the point where I'd be fine with Are You the One people because they know this is a reality TV show. This is not a sport. I know Bananas likes to say that this is the 5th sport. It's not a sport. We're watching reality TV. Like, sure, is Jeremy the most athletic guy? Is he gifted? Yes. Like, okay, fine. That's not why I watch this. I don't watch this to say, like, oh, he's in such great shape. Look at how fast he's running up that mountain. No. But guess what? Now he's a challenge champion. And that just is a bad taste in my mouth.
So you're basically saying he's not in it for the right reason.
No, he's in it for and it's not like, I like people that are competitive. I've said that multiple times, but you have to be able to do both. You have to. Otherwise, guess what? There's other shows out there. Go do that. That's okay. But like, if you're gonna be on this show was Real World, Road Rules, The Challenge. The whole premise of this show was to take 2 different reality TV shows that are all about just making content, causing drama, and put them together. Jeremy doesn't care about that. He's an ultra marathon runner. If he was entertaining, if he was like hooking up with other rookies and other new threats and causing problems in the house, okay, fine. Totally different story. But this dude is just like, oh, I've already ran a marathon. I do 5Ks in my sleep. I do 10Ks for lunch. That's not what this show is about. Tell me I'm wrong.
Can I go this route with you? Who can we actually pick from now? Like you brought, Johnny Bananas up. You brought, Jordan, Wes, whoever. Like you want those types of people on every season. What show can we even take from anymore? Because there isn't a show anymore like that. And I think that's a problem that we have. There's no Real World. it's funny how the shift from Are You the One? Towards the end of Are You the One, we would take those people. Then we started getting into the America's Got Talents and all that crap in the world. But who can we actually take now?
Well, here's the thing. I think we got a lot of good talent. Like, look at the new threats. Like, even just from the final, like Cedric did a great balance of both. Sydney did a great balance of both. Adrian did a great balance. Like, there were a lot. Like, whoever got this new crop, I think did a really good job if you look at the whole scope. Because even like someone like Will, who just missed out, like, there was a lot of good balance. But the clear 1-1 favorite this whole time to win it was Jeremy, and it was like, it's just dumb. It's just dumb for someone like him to be on this show. It's just like, it's like Lolo Jones. Like, Lolo Jones was a fucking dud. Total dud.
It's a Landon. It's somebody like that. I get what you're saying, but I thought he actually did solid. He had probably the best move with the whole twist, like staking a claim with 5 episodes to go. Like, that changed the entire game. That move right there, he was going into an elimination with Aviv. Like,
but that was Aviv's move. It was Aviv's move. If you try to say it was Jeremy's move, you don't know this show. That was Aviv's move. You both know it.
I disagree with this take. I think Jeremy is not a dud. He didn't bring like a ton of drama to the table, but I think the way I view it is like, especially for rookies, right? When you have a new cast member and you're kind of deciding like, should we have this person back? How do we want their future to be? I think it's a scale of how good of a there's like, it's like a XY, as Michael Scott would say, axis of like, how good of a challenger are you on finals, dailies, endurance, all of that stuff. And then the other scale is drama and entertaining and being a good, like, in confessionals and all of that stuff. And I think as a rookie, you need to be like either decently high in both or really high in one. And I think Jeremy is like really high in one, and maybe he's not like, and I think that's enough to get you a call back for a second season. I think the kind of one random person that comes to my mind is, going back a few seasons, Ninja. Ninja on her rookie season was like an awesome competitor, wasn't super interesting. They give her a second season and she's like nails on a chalkboard. And she's like still like decently competitive, but she's like, at that point, I don't think they gave her another call back for a third season. And I think that's kind of where Jeremy's going to land, where like he's good enough. He won his rookie season, his first place day one. And so like it was a big target. And so I think he's like good enough to get a call back. And yes, I think next season, let's say he goes into like an elimination halfway through and goes home, and it's like some fluke elimination. And let's say the 8 episodes he's on, he doesn't make a huge splash. Maybe you don't give him a call back. But I think at least for like right now, I think he showed that like he's good enough, like talking to a camera. The cast seems to like him, even if he's not like hooking up with girls or guys, maybe. That I think it gives him, and like just how good he is. Like, imagine 42, 18 months from now, we're recapping the final, and it's like Jeremy and Jordan are both in a final on separate teams running it against each other. I think his ceiling for what he is as a competitor is so high that he at least gets another shot. And I think he was like just good enough to, like, from an entertainment standpoint, to get called back.
So, Andy,
I liked him.
You just don't want him back. You don't think he gets, even though he won, you don't think he should get another audition to stir.
So Alex brought up some good points. And I think my biggest takeaway from what Alex said, my brain went to Laurel. Laurel in Fresh Meat 2 was not the same Laurel that we all know. She was fairly reserved because she was a rookie. So, like, to that point, I don't think I can fault Jeremy as much as I would like to, because he's not just coming in and breaking glass. because Laurel didn't either. But that was her like MO for the rest of her challenge career. So that is a good point. I just think I just don't like the concept of finding some guy who is built to run a marathon. He's not built for the challenge. He's built to run a marathon, and guess what? He wins, and now he's a challenge champion. Like, it just kind of pisses me off that someone, and I don't know if I can pick the right one, but I'm going to do this, and I know it's a bad take, but like someone like Jeremy being dubbed a challenge champion and someone like Leroy not being dubbed a challenge champion, so part of that just doesn't sit right with me. Does that make sense? And I know that comparison is not ideal because like if those two were going head to head, it's a bloodbath. But like Leroy is all about the challenge. He always has been. Like Jeremy he doesn't care. This is just another athletic competition for him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that statement there, would you be saying the same thing Leroy season 1 that he was on? Probably not. Like,
right, and I think that's like Alex's points about this being his first season are very valid, and one rookie was going to win. So
Exactly.
it had to be somebody. And like comparing it to the other rookies, I do think this is a factual statement. If you look at the other new threats in the final, Sydney, Adrian, and Cedric, I think all of them cut it up way more than Jeremy this season.
Yeah.
Which, like, I don't think that's necessarily good, bad, or indifferent. But, like, when he's the low man on that totem pole, and it was very clear that, like, they got him on here because he's this ultra marathon runner, and then he wins it, and it's like, okay, so what?
Andy, I want you to respond to this. I'm bringing it up in the chat. All Jeremy did was show up, kick everybody's ass on the first challenge, made the biggest political strategic decision in the game, and won the Fukin final.
I mean, a lot of that's factual, but he didn't make the biggest political strategic decision. I call total bullshit on that.
Aviv.
I know. Nani came to Aviv. Nani came to Aviv, said, you're going in. Aviv told Jeremy that this was happening and was like, yeah, maybe you should do this. So, like, don't tell me that Jeremy's this political mastermind because his partner told him to do something.
I think we threw out I threw out Ninja, you threw out Laurel. I think the other person that just came to my mind in terms of comparison of what Jeremy could end up being or at what this person was at this point was Joss with 2 S's. Because if you think back to Vendettas, his rookie season, he dominates the first challenge. And like it's like running up the mountain, same type of thing. And right away, he's a big threat. And ultimately, he goes home before the final. So he doesn't actually run the final. But he was a big threat. And so I think he was a dud. He was a total dud. But like he showed just enough in his elimination loss to get a call back. And he comes back for a couple seasons. And he's like still a dud. And he doesn't, I think he made the final on Final Reckoning. And so like he had maybe a couple other moments where he looked like a good challenger, but like he did just enough on his rookie season to get a call back. And it's like, all right, show us either are you going to win every single season you do, or are you going to be like super entertaining? And he did neither of those. Definitely not like the entertaining part. And so ultimately he just kind of fades away and he's kind of just like a little bitch. And so who knows? Maybe Jeremy will have that treatment. But I think the jury's still out.
Let me go this route with you guys. This is the first 3-person team to win a final since when?
Well, 3 people won last season.
Did they?
People forget that.
Really?
They had the tie. Remember the karma vote?
Oh my god!
Does anybody remember the karma vote?
Yes. Oh my god! I forgot it was a tie.
Yeah, it was Rachel and Ginny.
So stupid.
God, that's like kind of going back. I feel like I'm going a dream within a dream. going
God.
back into that mumbo jumbo.
So,
Who won Battle of the? Who was the other? Who won for the guys? Surely somebody with 9 fingers.
so speaking of vets, what do you guys think of Olivia winning?
I'm happy for her.
I am too.
Trev?
Rachel's so asterisk e.
Those are exclamation points.
I know. I just wanted to say e because I feel like it needed to be said there.
I don't disagree.
It was the opportunity was there. I don't know why I didn't just throw the Y's on, but that's just me.
Olivia's 4 seasons, 2 finals, and now a ring. It's a pretty good start.
I did not want her to win,
That's fair.
but to Andy's point earlier, she kept going up the mountain, and she got up the mountain. Like, you can't knock her for that. She didn't quit. She could have easily. I mean, they were in 4th place. Could have gave up. Battled through it, got up the mountain, and won. So,
I think I'm happy to see Olivia win for the simple reason of, like, we said a rookie had to win, a vet also had to win. There was going to be one vet winner. And if you look at the vet cast, at least half of them showed up out of shape. Or at certain points of the season looked like shit. You know, your CTs, Anisas, Derek's, even like Theo and Turbo made the final. They also looked like shit at certain points. And Olivia never really did. And, like, granted, she's young, probably the youngest vet that we had on the entire season, and a decade younger than some of them. But, like, she was still a vet. And, the chunks of the season, like the first part of the season, she was kind of, those first handful of episodes, she was kind of controlling the game and had a lot of the politics running through her. And then by the time the lock-in comes, it's kind of switched. But like I mentioned earlier, even though her alliance didn't have the numbers, Theo just helped her a ton and, like, kept winning these eliminations. But they also did things like, I'm thinking, like, when they convinced Gabe's dumbass to, like, stake his claim, like, that would have been another one where Theo was probably going in. And, like, she was a smart political player the entire time. Like, when Michaela kind of flipped on the alliance, Olivia was just like, okay, and just kind of, like, didn't cause any ripples and just kind of let it happen. Like, she was, even though her alliance was falling apart, or I shouldn't say falling apart, but outnumbered, she was a very smart political player the entire time. And then she gets paired up with Will, who kind of sucked. And then she gets Jeremy, and she's like, all right, like, we don't have any chemistry, but, like, let's figure it out. And they did. And, like, at the end of the day, she just had a very, again, like, I don't think any of us were, like, fans of her, especially early in the season, but she just kept competing, and she's, like, was really good. And, like, I think it was very well-deserved challenge title for her.
I would have been much more upset if she won on other seasons. Because there were other seasons where I hated Olivia. She's kind of done a 180 for me, just a 180. Because I think when she started, I wasn't a huge fan. Obviously, she was very. There were a pair of assets that she had that made me very excited. But I don't think I really liked her that much. But she's come around. You mentioned that she was partnered with Will. She did pick Will. Does she win this if she picked Leo, who was her alternative choice? Or is that, like, a mute point? Because those two, Olivia, didn't really win much. So maybe Olivia also wouldn't have won much.
Well, then I think it would depend on who Jeremy was going to stake his claim against.
It's just a little potential domino effect.
It's sliding doors, E.
Yes.
But I think Olivia's, like, a good new era vet that we've had now for 4 seasons. Like, even though we might not be rooting for her all the time, like, she's kind of, if she's on next season, she's kind of a staple. Like, I know she's a mom now, which we haven't really mentioned. But, like, would like to see her back. And I think one of my favorite stats isn't it still true that she had 4 seasons and 4 different hair colors.
Yes.
So we'll
Yes.
see if she can figure out 5 and 5. I don't know if she can do that, but we'll see.
Will she come back with blue and then put out a song called UFOs instead of Alien?
I'm an alien. Was that in your Spotify rap that came out today?
Yes. Number 1. Top 0.0001 listeners.
Mine was the "Are you gonna dance? Are you gonna cry?" Somebody just sent me a song on Spotify. I don't know who that was, and I kind of listened to it during this pod. Did you guys get that text too?
I'm so humble.
God, watch it.
We'll get into that.
All right. Anything else from tonight's episode before we get into some segs?
I no. I don't think so.
I think we covered it all. And like our listeners know, we will have a full season recap. I don't know if it's going to be before the holidays, after the holiday spirits. It looked like, I guess, well, it'll be a while. Next week, it looks like is the reunion. We'll see if that's part 1, part 2. They did the classic previews, people fighting. Ashley was there. Who knows, exactly what we'll see. I'm sure the Blurkle guy will be out ready. But
They'll have a 5-second delay on her for multiple reasons.
All jokes aside,
far from Leroy.
When are you guys going to Florida? Like, are we doing a Christmas Eve recap? And I'll be back Christmas Eve. Do we just do a live in studio Christmas Eve pod?
I can't do Christmas Eve.
Why? I mean, Alex came over for Christmas last year.
Didn't we do a Christmas Eve episode recap?
Yes.
I think so. I could maybe do Christmas Eve.
And then I think Trev was telling us the entire time, don't use the toilet down here. Don't use the toilet in the basement. It's broken. It's broken. And then if you fast forward to like an hour 10 into the podcast, you just see the two of us, Trev nowhere to be seen, and then you just hear.
That's not even the best part of that clip. If you actually go to a minute or an hour 5 in that pod, the little stumble when I get up, that's actually the best part. I'm just being honest.
That's so true.
Yeah, the look on my face, that's the best part. So,
we're in the Christmas spirits.
Yeah, I mean I think we did shots and ladders. All right. Segs, what do we got?
I think we just close it out with MVP, LVP.
Wow. Okay. MVP, LVP. You guys know what to do. Before we guess the order, I was first last week for your guys' order. I was first person.
No, that doesn't count.
No. I'm going to say it's Alex, me, Trev.
I'm going me, Alex, Andy.
I'm going to say Alex, Trev, Andy.
Alex, Trev, Andy. Oh, no. Trev, Alex, Andy. Wait, isn't that what I said for Mitos? Oh, wait. Do you guys see the timestamp? All 3 people, same time? 23:02:10. Do you guys get timestamps or no?
I don't see the timestamps.
I got Mitos coming in first.
I've got Mitos first on mine.
I got Mito, then Tommy, then Mikey, then McCord, but I got to go Mitos, which is me. So my MVP tonight. Do you want me to do teams or do you want me to do person?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay. I'll go Yermi for my MVP tonight. I think he won the final. I think he had the best performance, climbed up the mountain. Let me say, best performance as a whole. Not necessarily the entire thing, but from the mountain portion all the way up, he carried Olivia up the mountain. So I'm going Yermi. Congrats on the first title. Andy doesn't want him back. Me and Alex want him back, and probably everybody in the chat. But,
Alex, open my eyes. I want to see a second season, and then my final verdict will be made.
Cool. All right.
Good pick.
Alex?
He dominated.
Yeah, I'm going to go pretty chalky at this point, but I'm going to give the second MVP to Olivia. Becomes a challenge champ. And, she did, we talked about it last week. Her kind of mindset was just like, Jeremy's a machine. I just got to keep up with him. I just got to hold the end of the rope and keep going. And she did. And good for her. She didn't die. As she's fucking pregnant, it's incredible to think about. I don't know how the challenge isn't sued for this. The fact that they're sending her up to do this stuff is insane. But yeah, 4 seasons, 2 finals, 1 ring, entertaining, good to look at, dating a challenger. She's checking a lot of boxes. I just hope that the baby doesn't slow her challenge career down. So my MVP is going to be Olivia.
That's a great pick.
Andy, who you got MVP?
You two picked probably the 2 most popular choices here. However, my 1-1 pick is still available. And I love this so much. For me, it's a staple of this show. I feel like we have not gotten it in years. But my MVP pick for tonight is going to be overrating the amount of money and the impact it can have on someone's life. $212,000. Cedric had a confessional saying that this was going to be life-changing, not just for him, but for the generations to come, and that his kids would not have to worry about money.
Did he actually say that?
Do you know how much money $212,000 can give you in today's time? Pre-tax. You're looking at probably bringing home about $100,000 in your pocket. And he thinks that's enough for his kids to never have to worry about money. I love it so much. It was such a nice little feather on the cap of, I really enjoyed this season as a whole. This was this made up for the lack of changing locations for the final. This was the chef's kiss for me tonight.
What's the MVP pick?
Overrating the impact of money.
We actually
overrating challenge money. I don't know.
I'll check the leaderboard. I actually think this might have been a pick before. It was labeled something to the same effect of challengers' plans for prize money. I'll check and make sure it's labeled the same because I think we have had that, but I understand.
Before you go LVP, can we please do the history of our MVP LVP and go through the list?
That's, I think, the first off-season pod.
That pod is just so off the rails. It's incredible.
We're going to be close to triple the amount of picks by the time we do that episode.
We just crossed 2 episodes ago 150 episodes on Restream, believe it or not. That's kind of insane.
Is that true?
Yes, this is the 152nd episode on our YouTube channel now. All right, LVP, who you got, Andy?
I'm so torn between 2. One of them we touched on. We flirted around it. I can't do it. So I'm gonna give my LVP to Medics. The Medics came in mid-final to do a 10-minute checkup on Michaela to check her vitals, to check how she was doing. And it ended with them just saying, "Do you want to continue?" She said yes. They continued. And it cut to Cedric being like, well, there's 10 minutes down the drain. In what world, if you're not collapsing on that mountain? The only time medics should get involved in a final is what we saw with Big Easy way back in the day, when someone is literally collapsing, about to die. They were literally just climbing the mountain, and the medics came rushing in. Michaela, we need to check your vitals. We need to do all these tests. And then it came to the summary of, do you want to continue? Yes. Okay. Get those medics out of the finals. Are you kidding me?
So your LVP is medics.
Yes.
It's a good pick.
I feel like that should have been an MVP vote. I mean, the amount of showtime they got tonight was pretty impressive.
It was
You saw
almost
a
like
lot of different people. Yeah.
yes.
I'm sorry. I don't know what these episode titles just tickles my funny bone.
Was
right.
it Mr.
All right.
Funny Bones and Big Fat Liar?
Yes.
All right. Before I give my LVP, since we're talking about movies and we were talking about movies earlier, I will just give a quick movie recommendation to anybody in the live chat. As I was watching tonight's episode and last week's episode, there's a movie called Alive, which is based on a true story. It's on Amazon Prime right now, 2 hours, and it takes place in the Andes Mountains. So it was a real life story. Ethan Hawke is in it. If anybody's an Ethan Hawke guy,
I'm more of an Ethan Hunt guy.
I would recommend and borderline challenge anybody who calls himself a movie guy and does movie reviews on the pod to watch Alive before our next episode.
Well, I got to rewatch Puss in Boots one more time. I mean, wait a minute. Shh, that's scary. Let's be very clear. Me and Andy, all in. We've watched Puss in Boots. I've yet to see a letterbox review from Alex on Puss in Boots. So I'm just saying, somebody coming here saying, "Oh, I'm the biggest movie guy," have not seen a Puss in Boots one. Just throwing it out there.
All right, fair. I'll check that box.
There you go. Maybe that can be George's first movie. All right, what do you got?
All right, LVP. I'm gonna keep it fairly simple. I'm just gonna give it to production. Challenge production, messing up the final again and again and again. Just with the checkpoints and the advantages and all of that. Another thing that somebody very astutely pointed out in the chat earlier, no eating checkpoint, just a classic swing and a miss. Like that is a staple. That would have been something where if it's just a small checkpoint tonight, once we cover that in our recap, we'd be like, yeah, at least we got the eating checkpoint. The rest of it was kind of weak, but like we got the eating checkpoint, didn't get it. Simple thing to add, separates the men from the boys. You know, if we had the eating checkpoint, you probably would have seen Anissa. She would have snuck back onto set. But I'm just going to give my LVP to production, just kind of butchering yet another final.
Really good pick. I also want to piggyback on that from the start of this pod. We just witnessed maybe the biggest comeback in finale history, and all we saw was just like a little lines, and then they just like passed them. Like I think they could have done so much more build up to that. We kind of watched history, and it just felt like a mini final. This whole thing felt kind of like a mini final.
But Andy, we didn't have much time. They couldn't like stretch out the final. I mean, we only had 3 hours of the finale. It's not like we could have fit more time.
It's a good point.
You know, kind of a good transition in my LVP. Andy was talking about one of the greatest comebacks of all time, one of the biggest downfalls of all time, and I'm going Turbo for my LVP pick. All he had to do was keep pace with Sydney. Sydney carried this team on this last checkpoint. And he just, like, from him, who everybody looks at, you know, he talks a big game, says he's the best, you know, whatever. Very disappointing performance, especially when you're 400 feet away and he just kind of was like, "Oh, how's this happening?" Like, go, run. And he just died like on it, which is crazy. I think this is a tough loss for Sydney. Like, I think, like, I don't know if we talked about it enough. Like, Sydney looked very good. And she also looked very good doing the challenge. But, I mean, I don't know. It seems like she's like one of my sports teams, you know, Toronto Blue Jays losing a game 7, the Pacers losing a game 7, her losing with 400 feet. Like, I've had a rough year in sports.
Well, Pitt's going to make the playoffs.
Watch it. Watch it. That's too soon. You better hope you guys just don't lose, and then you better be hosting a game against Alabama or whoever. You better open up your house to UJ.
Watch it. Watch it. I like that pick.
Mikey the Doctor writes a good point. What if City just picked up Turbo, very Wes and Kenny-esque? That would have been incredible.
It's been done before.
All
Do
right.
we have any honorable mentions?
Honorable mention MVP, Adam Meadows for finally showing up.
Who?
LVP. LVP is Tommy Tsunami because he changed his name. Let's bring back Tommy. I don't like this I Am remix. I need
the
Tommy.
remix is sketchy.
Yeah, not
It
a
is.
MVP is always the Chot. They've killed it. We've been live for over 90 minutes now. Longer than what's it called? Longer than
EP.
So
I've got a couple. Can I
Yeah.
rattle them off rapid fire? First one, TJ. I mentioned it. It's not a final if TJ's not at the top. I don't care if you gotta fly him in, have him parachute down. He's got to be up there.
that'd been
Second is going to be
dive in. He would have been like Jordan.
second. Kind of. I've got a couple. I've got two of them. Penalties. You lose your rope. 5 minutes. Slap on the wrist. Pointless. Waiting for other teams in any sort of race. Dumbest thing in the world. And then my last one that I've kind of teased a little bit. And again, this was the one that was going to be my LVP. And I had to take it off based on the outcome. Was Theo.
Yep.
Because they beat Olivia and Jeremy in Connect 4. In what world does Theo think? Like, it was a 1v1. It was him versus Olivia. And spoiler alert, they played every night. But if you're a couple and you care about this person and you're going up against them and you're like, who has a better chance of actually winning this thing based on this checkpoint, me or you? If you're Theo, don't you just have to say, like, you know what? I'm going to lose. You win because you can actually win this. Like, in what world are him and Adrian actually catching up to Sydney and Turbo because they were already gone at that point, as opposed to saying, you know what, Olivia, you and Jeremy can beat them. We're just going to take a dive here. I want you to go win this all. We're still together. Like, this money's going to help both of us. Go get this. Theo just said, fuck that. Now, granted, it didn't end up mattering, but if Jeremy and Olivia didn't make that big comeback and didn't finish in first, Theo would have been my LVP.
Okay. I have an asterisk LVP. MTV. And why I'm going MTV, and I'm going to ask you guys this question in the chat.
Wait, is this honorable mention or asterisk or honorable mention asterisk?
Is this the last episode that has ever been on MTV? Like a true episode of the challenge?
I would guess yes. Oh, from what we're hearing from the higher ups.
Explain? It's all PP?
That's what I'm hearing. So, could be end of an era, boys.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
We knew it was trouble when the MTV Challenge Twitter account changed their handle to just the challenge and then proceeded to tweet like once a week. That's a good pick. My honorable mention or MVP was going to be I think his name is Atlas, the baby challenge champion, completing a final, team of 3. I mean, good for him. More rings than Theo. People forget that.
Yeah, especially because they're also not married. So Atlas is just laughing at him.
Yes. My final thought, just on tonight's episode, and maybe this is a better sentiment for the season recap. But we talked about Jeremy, Cedric, a lot of other good rookies that we had. I think 4 for 4, just entertaining, like strong rookies that we had in the final. I think one of Turbo's last lines sums it up best as we look ahead to the future. New generation is not joke. That's kind of what I feel right now.
I'm with you. We needed some new blood. We needed some fresh meat. We didn't quite get fresh meat 3, but this was as close to it as you could have possibly gotten. And we have a pipeline for the future. We have some people we can call. And we've needed that for 7 seasons.
Yes, we got it now.
Finally got it, and a lot of them delivered. So hopefully this is a sign of good things to come. I mentioned it a couple EPs ago. I haven't been more excited for a Wednesday night than I was maybe like 2 weeks ago in a long time. So hopefully there's light at the end of the tunnel here. I think there is. Hopefully it's not just like Wile E. Coyote just running into the wall.
I'm really excited for the season recap because I think there's a lot of good picks for MVP, LVP. Half the cast is Rookie of the Year eligible. One shining moment, a lot of those things. I think it'll be pretty fun.
There we go. Anything else before we shut her down? When are we going live? Are we going live next week after the reunion, or what? What are we doing?
Too soon.
No.
Like, I don't know how much I got left in me.
We'll see you guys live. Maybe pre-Christmas, maybe in 2026.
Whoa.
We'll get into that.
All right. With that being said, thank you guys for listening to a brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. I've been your host, Trevor. You can follow us on Twitter at Stir the Pod. You can follow us on Instagram at Stir_the_pod. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Shout out George. Shout out Mason. Go to bed. Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.